can't rely on my memory, man. It's gone.
There you go.
There you go.
We're live, man. So, how you
All
doing,
right.
man? I got the music. Let the music play for a second.
Yeah.
You
No
know,
one came on yet?
so what?
No, nobody came on yet.
Well, that's all right. You're on, man. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying anybody else.
No, that's all right. Hey, listen, man. I usually do this every so often. I get one or two people, or a lot of times, I sometimes just do it by myself. So
Oh,
we
okay.
just might have it all to ourselves. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I
All
just
right.
want to get it started. Anyway, let's go ahead and rock and roll. Uh-huh. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let me use this. I got to share. All right. All righty, man. Welcome, man. You're on the swivel at the sports bar, man.
All right.
Here's a disclaimer, man. I always put this up because I use a lot of videos,
Okay.
so this is all fair use, so they know I'm using this stuff without fair use.
Okay.
Anyway, man, welcome aboard, man. I threw some stuff together, after we saw each other this morning. And this is when football season's out, basketball season's out, it's kind of you got to find good sports stuff when you can.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What you got now? Baseball? Is that pretty much it?
yeah, well, you got baseball, you got the big three, and you got WNBA.
Oh, yeah. But the big three in WNBA, they're not
Okay,
really
so
mainstream. But
well,
they're all
you know
right.
what? Well, this is our sports show, man. We could talk about whatever we want to talk
Anything we
about.
want.
Yeah, there you go,
Exactly.
man. So, hey, listen, in football, you know Mike Greenberg, right? You ever seen his show?
Mike, who?
Greenberg. He's a
Nah.
announcer on ESPN. Now
Nah.
listen, okay, I got a video for you. You gotta check him out. He
Okay.
he has his top he has his top 10 list or top 5 list of quarterbacks, and I think he's out of his mind. Check this out.
So it is time for one more look at the top quarterback rankings that our Jeremy Fowler put together here again. These were voted on by NFL executives, coaches, and scouts, people who in theory know what they're talking about. And as you see here, the top 5 are Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. I decided to do a green list today in a little different fashion than we've normally done. In honor of Aaron Rodgers' visit to Egypt, my quarterback green list today is going to be my quarterback pyramid. So I'm going to give you my top 6 in pyramid form. So let's start with the lowest level of the pyramid, which again constitutes the 4th, 5th, and 6th best quarterbacks in the NFL. They are Lamar Jackson, T.J. Stroud, and Jordan Love. That's the lowest layer. That's the foundation layer of the pyramid. We move up one slot on the pyramid here. We got Patrick Mahomes, and we got Josh Allen. And you may say to yourself, how in the world is it that Patrick Mahomes is not number 1? Well, the reason is we have to give credit to the man who built the pyramid. I'm not talking about King Tut. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about the last time he was questioned in the way he has been questioned at this point. The last time his
Who
team,
is it?
the last time the team went out there and made moves that made him feel as though he wasn't wanted anymore. The last time the league gave up on him. The last time idiots on this show like me did essays suggesting that his best days were behind him. He went out and won another.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
You can't see it. You can't see
And what's his name? What's his name?
it. Hold on.
But upon his
You can't see who he got up there.
Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be kidding me.
He's crazy, man. I said this
Yeah.
guy's out of his mind.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah. You know what? How the hell are you gonna have him over Patrick Mahomes?
Even Josh Allen.
He hasn't done anything in years. Okay, hold on. Let's hear some more.
Return from the pyramid. Rodgers belongs on top of the pyramid. He is going to have the best season.
Look at those other guys.
Yeah, they having a headache.
He's going to have the best season of any quarterback in the NFL this year. What are they made of? Stone? The top stone on the pyramid when it matters the most. What do you think?
What do you think?
You get me today, I only remember.
I might be able to do that anyway. But what do you think? Come on, Rodgers. To tell me that Rodgers is not going to, and everything in the world is setting up against him. The most dangerous. The world hates him. Everyone wants him to fail. Everyone wanted him to knock him. And the coach.
Yeah, those guys don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, he just wants to instigate a debate.
Yeah, he gotta be, man. He's gotta be trolling.
He wants to be controversial and start something.
Yeah, he's dead. That's exactly right, because he can't believe anything he's saying right now.
Exactly.
He goes on a scorched earth tour at the age of 40.
I don't disagree with many of the things you're saying when it comes to Aaron and how he plays when people doubt him. They got to be the healthiest team in the history of the Jets for this to happen, and for it to be even a remote possibility. If that's the case, agree between him, Mike Williams, and Tyron Smith in his 38 games last year. Okay, so you better hope and fingers crossed that they stay healthy. Even if he stays healthy and they stay healthy and he plays at a really high level, he ain't better than Patrick. And he's not better than Josh. And I don't think he's that much better than Joe. And I don't think he's that much better than Stafford.
Take a look and see. Let's wait and see. This is not about who is the best player. This is about who I'm projecting to have the best.
All right, enough of that, man. So what do you think, man?
Well, the question now is, let's say, the game is tied, about a minute to play, and, the team is going for the win. Which one of those quarterbacks would you give the ball to? As like Mr. Clutch.
Mahomes.
You give it to Mahomes?
Yeah. Well, we got receipts, right? You got 3 Super Bowls, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
We got receipts. I mean, it's not like we got to think of that, man. So anyway, my man only has 1 Super Bowl. He hasn't been back there in over 10 years.
Yeah. No, I won't give him the ball. And I choose Mahomes too as the guy. I probably pick Lamar Jackson, number 2.
I know what, I wouldn't take him because, man, he hasn't. When the clutch comes down, he hasn't won that. He should have got to the Super Bowl last year. And so there's something there. I mean, I think he's still got a chance to be great. And he's a very good quarterback, but it only for him, he's got to get to a Super Bowl.
Okay, so who's number 2 that you will give the ball to then? Josh Allen? Because Josh Allen, makes careless plays, He's a bit reckless.
Well, I hear you. You know what? I mean, Rodgers could be 2nd or 3rd.
I think so too. I
don't mind that. I don't mind that. But Mahomes has to be at the top of the pyramid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just has to be at the top. Okay, so listen, Green. You know what? The Giants say goodbye to Saquon Barkley. He's playing for Philadelphia now.
Okay.
So they won't. You know what? They refuse to pay him an extra $1 million or $2 million.
That's all.
That's all.
Dang.
And so he got a good deal out of Philly. He's going to see Philly twice a year, man. Well, hey, what's up, Trey? Man, what's going on, man? All right. You can hear us?
What's up, Trey?
How you doing, man?
All right, man. We talking about the Saquon Barkley trade, man. I mean, not trade. I guess he left on free agency, correct?
Yeah.
The Giants going to see him twice a year, at least. I think that he's going to be racking up the yards, man, and he's probably going to stay healthy all year just to spite him. So what do you think about? What do y'all think about that, losing Saquon Barkley?
I don't know nothing about him, to be honest. I don't really follow him, so.
Yeah, well, he was a Giants guy, man. He drafted him number 2 in the draft. What do you think, Trey Ferg?
Hey, I'm a running back by heart.
Okay.
That's my position. I played since I started playing football. Running back, linebacker, defensive back. I didn't play quarterback, but I passed a lot. They're going to miss this guy.
Okay.
He's being in Philadelphia, it's going to really be able to show his talent because they run a mixed offense.
That's right.
And with Jalen Hurts being able to run the ball and Saquon back there, who is an all-pro when he's healthy, and the Giants They didn't really do anything. They have the worst management and ownership in the NFL in the last 20 years. They signed they signed the scrub quarterback. He's going to do the same thing this year. Watch what I tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, listen, they say that Saquon Barkley's salary, even if he got what he wanted, would only be 2% of the salary cap.
Yeah, I mean, they devaluing the running backs.
Yeah, like crazy.
But that's because, you know, football watchers today, our paying, most of them never played, so they don't understand the value of that. They looking at the passing and the Patrick Mahomes behind the back. See, that's the non-player style.
Yeah.
They just trying to soften it up. But late in the season, October, November, December, a running back is what's always going to be able to keep you in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. No argument there. So the Giants, I think they dug themselves a hole there because I don't know who the replacement is. All right, so listen, I got this video. I don't know if we're going to watch the whole thing, but they rank each division, right? And, you know, so it's not really that long, but they go through it. They go through some stuff, but let's just check out a little bit of how they rank these guys.
Okay.
All right, so they're going to start. All right.
NFL divisions are most certainly not created equal.
No one in the planet, except for Michael Parsons, thought the NFC East was better than the AFC North.
Is your favorite team's division going to be an absolute breeze? Or is that a division full of sharks? Today, we take a bit of a look. Number 8, NFC South. The NFC South last produced a team with double-digit wins in 2021.
Wow.
That was Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who went 13-4. The Atlanta Falcons are now the team to beat in the division after signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal with $180 million. Yet, their decision to take Washington QB Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall strongly indicates that they're still not really committed to a win-now strategy. Atlanta hasn't had a winning season since 2017. Cousins should change that, but this team's ceiling is like 10 or 11 wins at best. And it's hard to envision them getting past the divisional round in a conference with the San Francisco 49ers, Detroit Lions, and Philadelphia Eagles. The Bucs overachieved last year with a 9-8 record. Color are skeptical that Baker Mayfield is going to repeat his career year. New Orleans Saints are who they are. A mushy middle team that will finish in the 7-9 win range. They just refuse to rebuild. And it is really starting to catch up on them. It's only fitting that a mediocre team is committed to the epitome of mediocre quarterbacks in Derek Carr. At best, New Orleans will win 9 games in the NFC South. Then they'll get crushed in the wild card round by whoever. The Carolina Panthers, well, I mean, they can't be any worse after a 2-15 season. Bryce Young can hopefully only improve after a very horrid rookie year. But the Panthers aren't realistically anywhere close to contention. Number 7, AFC South. We have no doubt the reigning division champion Houston Texans will be making their jump to Super Bowl contender. C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Will Anderson Jr., and Derek Stingley Jr. round out an elite young nucleus. Its newcomers Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, and Daniil Hunter could be the difference makers.
And you know, he noticed he said Darryl Stingley Jr. Wow, you know, I guess I knew he was in the league. That's a famous name from the past.
That get this team over the top. But who are the Jacksonville Jaguars? Trevor Lawrence still hasn't really put it all together throughout the course of a full year. The Josh Allen-led defense has immense potential, but it just hasn't been able to reach its ceiling yet. Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis were nice additions to the offense, but how much will they make up for Calvin Ridley's departure? The Indianapolis Colts were a fun story last year, finishing 9-8 without rookie QB Anthony Richardson for most of the year, but we still don't really know what Indy has with Richardson, a boomer-bust quarterback with major injury risk. The Colts have a nice set of playmakers led by Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr., and you know, their front seven is among the best in football. But this team hasn't won double-digit games since 2020. So, yeah, you decide if you want to buy the hype on this mushy middle franchise. The Tennessee Titans finished last in the division with a 6-11 record last year. They lost Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens in free agency, but found a solid replacement in Tony Pollard. Not to mention that the Will Levis-led passing game can only improve following...
That guy is no Derrick Henry. He's no Derrick Henry. You found the rest. That guy's not Derrick Henry, man. What are you talking about? Anyway.
The splashy additions of Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd. Still, the Titans seem a couple of years away from re-emerging as a contender in the AFC. Their ceiling right now is like 7 wins. So you have one bona fide contender in the Texans, 2 hopeful playoff teams in Jacksonville and Indianapolis, and a rebuilding Titans squad. It is the ultimate mystery of a division. So,
is that their coach right there? Who was that?
What?
Who was that for the Titans?
I think that might be. I don't know his name. I think it might be a coach or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's in the staff. I don't know his name. I don't. He didn't mention it.
Higher than 7th here. Number 6, AFC West. If the Kansas City Chiefs weren't the NFL's model franchise, this division would garner consideration.
Well, okay, so this kind of. So we know what's happening with these. Let me go here.
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
In all 4 of those conferences, Kansas City's in the worst conference.
You mean that they're going to? You mean they're going to dominate, or they're not? They got the Okay.
Go back and just look at the conference. What teams are in the conference? Kansas City is in the worst conference. It was like a few seconds. Yes, look, that's the worst conference right there.
Let me just start it.
So we really cannot rank it any higher than 7th here. Number 6, AFC West.
Right there, yeah. See, let's mark that down. All of those teams had a losing record except Kansas City. I think the Raiders.
Yeah.
Didn't the Raiders go 9-8 or 8-9? And they went 8-9.
So what you're really saying is Kansas City got 6 wins right here.
Yeah, they got 6 wins right there. That's the weakest division in football right there.
They got 6 wins right there. You got anything to say, Charles? I mean, I know you don't follow it that way, but I was just going to skip ahead.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that. I don't really follow.
Yeah, now this one here might be interesting, right? I mean, the East always plays each other well.
I think that's the toughest in the NFC. I think
incredibly, the 2003 and 2004 Philadelphia Eagles are the last team to have won the NFC East Division crown in back-to-back years. This division has 2 consistent playoff teams in the Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. But whereas the Cowboys have a knack for joining in the postseason every single year, the first-led Eagles were close to a 2 seasons ago. The Eagles have one of the deepest rosters in football and should be a bona fide Super Bowl contender in 2024.
All right, so we kind of know. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you kind of get the gist. So what I might do though is bring this back and look at the other divisions maybe sometime next week because it's going to take a long time. But I like this kind of roll up or at least analysis. We know it could change. We know this is just his opinion, but it's
I'm thinking, you see how they did Dak? You see how they made Dak look?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's done.
That's funny, man. You don't get no respect. You don't get no respect. All right, so let's change the basketball, man. Listen, hey, Victor, man, I didn't realize how skinny Victor Yamanira, whatever his name is, Yemen. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know.
Yamo looks absolutely terrifying right now. Only 2 weeks since the NBA season has been over. Victor already putting the entire league on notice after a season where he averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3.6
Look how slim. Wait till they show him. Look how slim he looks.
I'm paying. Big players from other countries ain't fat like we are.
Look at him. Look at him.
Wow. Strength.
You see
how body strength.
So what?
That's all body strength, brother. I'll take body strength over anything.
Well, what I'm saying is but look how he's putting some muscle on that.
Yeah.
He has so much room to get stronger.
Oh yeah.
And and the funny thing is they didn't really push him around that much last year. He didn't because nobody really plays that tough under the boards these days in the new kind of basketball. Yep. But he was able to work his way. He wasn't like as skinny as he is, man. 10 years ago, he would have been 10, 15 years ago. They would have bruised him bad, boy.
No, brother. No, I think they wouldn't have did that.
Well, okay, tell me what.
Because I'm gonna take his age and time and go back. Understand, outside of America, you get to play professional, and he has the skill set. He's just tall. And even players back in the day that were in a little bit better shape than these guys that look a little chunky today. They were in a lot better shape back then.
Okay.
And he's probably about close to 200 pounds, maybe 210. That's it. He get up to about 225, 230 tops. That'd be a little too much, about 230.
I would say he's a lot taller. He's a lot heavier than that, man. At 7'4", no way he can be 200.
Well, he's not nowhere near like 3. He's about 250.
At most. But I hear where you come from, Trey Ferg. Believe me, he's not as heavy as the typical 7'4" guy.
No, of course.
He's heavier. Look heavier than Manute Bol did. Manute Bol looks.
Manute Bol, man, you know, with Manute Bol, man. Anyway, he didn't have this guy's athletic ability.
Oh, no way, man.
How he looked last year.
Look at him.
Drafted by the Spurs in comparison.
Yeah, so he's getting there, man. He's gonna be something, man. But now they got to put some players around him.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
They got to put some players around him. All right, so here's this thing, man. What do y'all think about what they're doing to Bronny James?
It's a shame,
we don't have to see the video, man. I think it's very unfair the piling on of a guy who's number 55 in the draft. He's the most famous number 55 ever.
As far as LeBron James, what do you expect? That's why they do all that scrutiny. Because as a matter of fact, you know, I think if he has like a few more big games, he might end up in a G League.
No, listen, but they don't. Well, I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that nobody ever talks about anybody drafted in the second round unless they stand out. So now putting a spotlight on him, a lot of that has to go with the expectations that his father raised about him. You notice that they're being a lot more silent with Bryce James. They don't, you know, they're learning a lesson. Bryce actually is going to be better than Bronny James. He's taller, and he's got at least 2 inches on him, and he's got that lankier body.
So wait, is he going to be in the draft in like another 2 years?
I think he's not even in college yet. I don't think he's in college. He's still in high school.
Okay.
You know, so he's learning his craft now. I think he's gonna remember like the youngest ball who went to the one in Charlotte. He's the best ball.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he got to get out of Charlotte. That's what he needs to do. So, what do you think about this guy, Trey Ferg? What do you think about? I think it's unfair. Now, Shaq says Shaq says that he hopes they leave him alone. He wants them to leave him alone. And that's not going to happen. And there's just, you know, we're finding out that there's a lot of people who hate LeBron James. There's a lot of people who hate LeBron. Why they hate LeBron James so much, y'all? What? Tell somebody talk to me.
And I'll tell you why a lot of people don't like LeBron James, which really makes no sense if you understand sports. When have, in the last 25 years, and you got a star player, top 5 in the league, tell me when you've ever heard of those players' contracts expiring. The team don't even negotiate. They just let your contract expire.
Never happened.
It happened with LeBron James.
Yeah, I know. The guy in Cleveland was a jackass.
Man, come on, man. But then everybody look at LeBron James. That makes no sense. I would have packed up my shit and left too. Like, I'm out of here. You let a top 5. LeBron James was the best player in the league when he was in the league after 3 or 4 years. He was the best player, hands down. Still taking Cleveland to the championship with really a skeleton of a team.
I know, but what was he trying to accomplish by not?
Why would you not leave? You can't let.
No, but what I'm saying, what do you think the owner was trying to accomplish by not signing?
To let him know that nigga, you ain't shit. That's what he was letting him know, I think.
Okay, like, yes. He said, put the boy in his place. Let me put this boy in his place.
That's all. But LeBron James.
Yeah, but that boy made his whole empire go from whatever it was to over $1 billion net worth, and he all the receipts are there. Having him in when he left Cleveland, the whole place almost shut down.
Yeah, man, they were
businesses went out of business and everything.
Yeah, they were burning his t-shirt on the street.
They were burning his
fire. I'm like,
Actually, he cursed him. Remember the curse?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember the letter? The owner sent a letter with an actual curse against
Who did he send the
LeBron.
letter to, Alpine?
He released a letter to LeBron cursing him.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Because
I'm not saying he called him an MFer. He actually did it like a religious curse.
Yeah.
But see what I'm saying? See how evil that shit is?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but he got fined $250,000.
That's all.
And that's all. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. That's all.
And then at the end of the day, LeBron came back and
but to tell you the truth, I don't understand how LeBron actually ever came back.
That's what I'm saying. He went back, won a championship. Well, he saw that there was a lot of passion.
No, man.
All that love turned into hate. That's what he was.
Okay, listen, man. You know what, man? You've been passionate before, right? You've been passionate before.
It's an example of
I'm just asking you. I'm asking you. You've been passionate. Have you ever cursed anybody?
But wait, I'm gonna give you a better example. It's like a woman who's in love with you, and then next thing you know, you're brick, and now she hates you to death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but she hates you to death because she hates the guy to death because he probably did something for a reason.
Well, that's how he left. LeBron left. That's the bottom line.
Man. Everybody. Anyway, I hear you, man. We don't have to dwell on that. Yeah. Okay, so the Knicks lose this dude, man. Now this guy Hartenstein. The Knicks thought they were going to be able to keep him with the new team they're building, but he got a better offer from the Thunder. And he had to go. He said, I'm not no Jalen Green. I need every dollar I get.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going.
He's going to be – the Thunder probably be one of the best teams in the West with him coming over.
He
don't need the ball. He's going to rebound. He's going to play some defense. He's going to get them 5 fouls. He's going to get you about 15 points because he hustled. See,
that's right.
That's what the Thunder needed. They got the stars that can run around the perimeter.
Absolutely. So what does that mean, though, Trey Ferg? What does that mean? Because for the Knicks got a big hole in there now.
Oh, well, the Knicks, they going off the little black dude. I forget his name. He's slow. He don't never get in the
you're not talking about, when you mean little black, you're not talking about Brunson, are you?
No, the guy that got hurt, the center, the guy hurt, the one that was
starting. Oh, Randall?
Julius?
No, not Randall. It was another guy, the center that was
Robinson? Oh, Robinson's going too, I think.
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's the other one. And
the tall, skinny, dark.
Yeah, I think that's Robinson, right? Vic. That's Robinson. They have the big guys is Robinson. He always gets hurt, and then there's Randall who was hurt, but he's a forward, right? So you're talking about Robinson. That's the only other center I know.
But I think it's a good pickup for Oklahoma City because they young, man.
It's a great pickup. That's a great pickup.
At the end of the day, man, I see the Celtics for the next 3 to 5 years, man, being up there. So I don't think the other end of the team on the East has enough firepower.
Well, you know who got better? Philly. Philly got better.
Yeah, Philly got a little better.
Philly got better, man. Yeah,
but Celtics, I think they have the core. I think they Jalen and Tatum and Porzingis.
Yeah, there's something about it takes a special team to repeat.
Exactly.
Especially, it takes a special team. So I got to see what their mentality is. So sometimes people exhale once they get if they don't have that, Golden State Warrior kind of, we want to kind of win it every year. So we got to see how they play.
I think for Boston, the fact that the 2 stars, well, this is where the Olympics messed up. Even Bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
By him being snubbed as many times that he's been snubbed, and he still shows up to prove he's one of the top 5, top 10 players in the league over the last 3 or 4 years. And Jason going to the Olympics, he's going to come back with a greater determination. So I can see Boston being in the Eastern Conference Championship. Philly's gotten better.
Okay.
There's a few other teams. So it'll be interesting in the East. New York, if they let both their centers go, New York could probably win 40 games, 30, probably win 36 games.
Yeah. You think that low? New York?
Yeah, because Thibodeau's he run his team in the ground.
So you think the Knicks are going to take a major step backwards?
Yeah, if they got rid of both of their centers, they ain't got no height. Randall, he's already proven.
Yeah, because I could be wrong. Maybe they didn't get rid of Robinson, but I don't know who else is the center. I have to go check that out. I got to check that out. But anyway, man, Nike, they say Nike's behind the snub, right? Because he's stuck up for Kyrie Irving.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what it is then. I believe
he's stuck up for Kyrie Irving. He was one of the few black men who actually said, hey, man, what you trying to do is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It was. And now Kyrie Irving turned out to be right, you know?
Exactly.
Speaking of Kyrie, man, I still don't get it. How come he's not in the Olympic team? Blows my mind.
Well, because he's the number one reason why Jaden ain't on the team, man.
Right.
Get the Nike. Think about who runs Nike and who runs the NBA. Think about you think about their background and you'll know the answer. You know what I'm saying? It's the same old bullshit. You know, so that's the answer. There's no mystery to it.
Yeah.
You know?
I see what
it's the people who can't be named.
Another thing, I have to admit, I was wrong because I was knocking the Drew Holiday trade, and it turned out to be a smart move because they won the championship.
Wait, don't get me started. You know I was going to say something.
You can't tell me he ain't in the Hall of Fame now.
No, that's true. Yeah. I gotta swallow that. I gotta take that back because I was like,
you know what, man? Enough, man. Listen, man. He's just a great player. He's a super role player. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So Brunson, what do y'all think about him leaving $113 million on the table? Anybody got some thoughts? 100. Now his contract is big. I think his contract is like 120. Say that, bad.
He knows he's worth a lot more. That's why.
No.
He underplayed himself.
No. He signed an extension this year for I think $120 million or something, right, over 4 years or something. But if he would have waited to next year and became a free agent, or he would have been eligible for a max. Which means the difference of what he got paid now. If he would have waited 1 year, he would have got an extra $113 million on top of that. He would have got like $250 million.
Yes.
So the point really is that, okay, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you know. So let's just hear a little bit, you know, about the loudmouth. Let's hear the loudmouth talk a little bit. I just want to.
Let's start with my New York Knicks.
Let me do this again. Let's do this.
Let's start with my New York Knicks, who signed Jalen Brunson to a 4-year, $156 million extension last week. That's the good news. Here's the bad news in some people's eyes. That's $113 million less guaranteed than he could have signed for a year from now. Brunson's agent says the player could recoup the $113 million in a 4-year, $323 million max extension in 2028, or a new 5-year, $418 million deal in 2029. Listen, first of all, number one, tomorrow ain't guaranteed. Injuries could happen, anything could happen. We got an opportunity to pocket additional $156 million. That's one thing. I'm not going to throw any shade at Jalen Brunson with that, but I'm going to applaud him because obviously it gives the Knicks the flexibility it needs to go out there and get an additional piece, particularly with the loss of Hartstein. You also got to remember that Leon Rose, World Wide West, and the crew went out. Knicks brass I'm talking about. They went out and they got Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. That's one of Jalen Brunson's boys from Villanova. They also kept OG Anunoby with a $212 million extension. Excuse me. That was very important. So you didn't want to lose Hartenstein, but guess what? You had to make sure you kept OG Anunoby and you acquired a big-time player like Bridges, because Bridges can ball. Bridges not only can ball, he's Mr. Reliable. He's going to give you 40 minutes a night. He's not going to miss games. He's played all 82 games in the season, 3 seasons in his career thus far.
Brother doesn't miss a lot of games. So if the Knicks went out and they got pieces that you wanted them to get, and you know you're a piece or two away from legitimately competing with the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers for supremacy within the Eastern Conference, if not the entire NBA, for Brunson to do this right now, I ain't got a problem with it. And I'm going to say something else, too, that nobody's really thought about when it comes to Jalen Brunson. This is the good part about James Dolan being your owner, the owner for the New York Knicks I'm talking about. Let me explain what I mean by that. Now, I'm no fan of James Dolan. I think that he's been a nightmarish owner for the New York Knicks. There's a reason why they weren't relevant for decades once he took over from his daddy in 1999. Mr. Charleston. I get that. But I can't knock what he's done with the New York Knicks in hiring Leon Rose. Leon Rose having William Wesley, all right, there with him. And his willingness to stay out of the way. Focusing on the Sphere in Las Vegas, which, by the way, I hear is off the chain. It looks great from the outside. I've never been inside, but I digress. My point is, James Dolan is a billionaire. Now, this is a guy that when Tyson Chandler was a member of the New York Knicks and his mother was battling an illness.
Okay.
This is an owner that had his private jet.
So he's going to go through the extol the virtues of James Dolan and all that kind of good stuff. And he's a good, from that standpoint, he's not cheap. He likes loyalty. So you gotta give him that as an owner. But anyhow, so listen, if you're going to make 156 million in hand, as opposed to hoping everything goes right, and the next year you get an additional 113 million, you know what? I might be signing. I don't know. I might sign it too, because remember now he's already a multimillionaire. So, but if he says that if he gets another contract in another 4 years, you're not really recouping that $113 million. You never recoup that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's bad math. All right, WNBA talk. We don't get to talk that much. Yes, sir.
He could recoup it. Because the NBA, he's an all-star caliber guard. The thing is, in 4 years, he's going to play out. Let's just say he plays this 126 out. And if he's still making all-star caliber level, like teams, first team NBA, second, third team, that 126 million, I mean, that 116, he'll be able to get that back plus another 100.
No, I hear what you're saying, but he'll be 4 years.
As long as he shielded. What is he now? How old is he now? About 26, 27?
I got to check. I don't know, but I don't think he's that young. I think I'm not sure. Is he on his 4th year in the league? Well, let's look it up so we know. Hold on for a second. Me. How old is Jalen Brunson?
27 years old.
He's 27.
Be 31, yeah. They'll give him another 4 years because he'll.
Again, so he's got at least one additional contract left.
Yeah, but I'm saying, as far as New York, listen, if Jalen was not going to take that amount, they could have gave it to Harkenstein and signed him. They gave Open Dolly $200 million. Now he's not. This is a new elevation.
But I think, I hear you. But there's some other thing. Depending on what kind of free agent and what kind of tenure you have, I think they can't play with the money that way. Because it makes sense.
He's not an NBA level, he's not a top NBA level player. He plays good defense and he can check a 1 through 5.
Yeah,
but he's not giving you 35 points a game.
But the discount you got for Brunson, they put to OG's contract. Yeah, and the new guy coming in.
Yeah, they could have signed that, and they're gonna need that guy. Watch the guy that's went to the Thunder.
I get. All right, so I hear you. So in WNBA, of course, we don't have to go through the details. The rookie battle is real. And I think that's fair. I mean, forget about if you're looking at it objectively. I don't think you can automatically say we want to give it to Caitlin Clark. Because even though there's not one bit of athletic ability in Reese's game, She don't got no athletic ability at all. You know, she's but
hold up, Bob. What'd you say?
Listen, there's no athletic ability in Reese's game at all. You ever see?
You gotta be
All right, go ahead,
rebound.
Oh,
Nah, you just saying that to be controversial, man.
Yeah, you hear that, man? See, Charles, no, I'm tripping.
Let me tell you why. Then I'll let y'all speak. Right? Let me tell you, she's taller than a lot of women. She knows how to position herself. I'll give you that. So she gets a lot of rebounds from her own missed shots, and she gets some rebounds. She gets a lot of rebounds. You give her that. But when you see her shoot, like she has her shot is flicking it up against the backboard. She knows how to do that well, but she's like 1 inch off the ground. Like she don't have her calf muscles don't work. You know, she don't get she don't jump.
I have to watch her play more, man. I gotta watch her play more.
If you watch her run and jump, I say, man, this girl. So maybe that strengthens the fact that she's good. I didn't say she's not good, because it seems like they can't stop her shot because she is actually one of the taller leads. She's one of the taller ladies out there.
But she's only 6'3", though. I'm surprised.
Exactly.
She's taller than 6'3", man.
No, she is. She's only 6'3".
Yeah, she's a short, big man. And I think, how can you say her athletic ability? Man,
she said all she is fine.
Listen,
it's fine.
I think Angel Reese, she's trying to maintain her femininity.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of that.
I know she do, because every time she be showing her little body,
man,
all the old dudes be looking like, ooh, yes.
And she got no sex appeal, man. She got no sex. She
don't have what
at all.
But you must not seen her outside of basketball.
Who you talking about? No sex appeal? Who?
Angel Reese.
No. The other one, Clark.
Clark is a tomboy. But she likes men, so we give her a pass.
Exactly. I don't see her playing in the league no more than about 5 or 6 years.
Well, who knows? You know what? I think the bullshit is starting to die down a little bit, and both the rookies are starting to, making their little way. I mean, I said that Angel Reese is playing better than I thought she would play, and she's in. I think it's neck and neck, man, for Rookie of the Year.
I think it's neck and neck. Even though Caitlin Clark is averaging 16 points, 7 assists, those are all-star caliber numbers. She got a triple-double. That's an all-star caliber number. 17 blocks. That's a top player number. They 11 and 14. Angel Reese, she's averaging a double-double, a steal, 1.5 in what's she averaging? Her block, she got 3.
Yeah, she don't block that much.
Yeah, she always seemed to be out of position on defense, but she rebounds well, and she can shoot that ball close to the rim. And it does seem like she throw it up, but her position is so great that if she got the advantage over other players playing defense on her.
If I was her guy, not her guy, I mean her trainer, I would strengthen those legs.
She'll get there. It's a rookie. Even Caitlin Clark ain't got no legs. They gonna build up.
Anyway, so that's that.
The other thing I don't like, she had a double-double, 13 straight games. She was going for number 14, and I think in the last seconds of the game she got the ball, and they threw like 4 players at her, so that way she wouldn't get it. I don't think that was good.
You know, why not, man? Listen, nobody likes anybody making a record on them. Nobody wants you to get a record. If you get the record, you got to earn that son of a guy. I'm not letting you get it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's close to that 4 players than 1 player. Come on.
Well, listen, I'm not letting you get the record.
Now, I'm saying that man, don't even think like we don't even act like that, man. Come on.
No, man. You ain't getting the record on me, man. Get out of here.
You can't be acting like the females, man, over time.
You know what? Men do that too. They don't let nobody just get the record.
No, they do.
Nobody does the Brett Favre. Nobody like the Brett Favre laying down for straight hand to get the sack record.
Let me tell you, man. If it was
wasn't that Brett Favre? Wasn't that Brett Favre when he laid down and let him get the sack?
He was gonna get that sack.
Oh, no. He laid down. He gave himself up, man. Everybody got on this case for that. So yeah, man. Anyway, I hear you guys.
Anyway.
So here's the record. They only have to set up this way because the top 8 teams get into the playoffs, and lo and behold, both the Fever and the Sky are 7-8. So even though they started badly, they could both make the playoffs, and they're projecting to both be in the playoffs.
All right, that would be good, man, to see them in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. I think they even have one more head-to-head game.
Oh, they do? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
The Big Three. All right, so the Big Three, Ice Cube sells a team. I think he sold 2 now for $10 million each.
Wow.
So there's 12 teams. Hey, listen, man, they were in my backyard, man. I was telling Vic about that. They were in the Prudential Center on the 7th of July. I didn't go. I could have. Man, listen, man, I'm old, man. I don't like crowds. I don't like crowds. I guess, I'm just thinking, here's my problem, right? If I would have went and I got there, I would have enjoyed myself. All I could think about is I'm going to park 10 miles away. I got to walk into the arena. It's going to be all these nasty ass yelling people around me. I got to give them my ticket. I got to go find me a seat that I can't fit in and shit.
God.
And I'm going to be, so that's what I was thinking about that, man. If I enjoyed this with my $10 beer, my $18 hot dog and shit, I said, you know what? I'll watch the play. So if I could have overcome all of those things, I would have went.
Oh my God, you wouldn't go if you had a list of things.
Yeah, but what I should have did was I should have called some people up, from the fellas over in New Jersey, and say, hey, listen, man, y'all want to go to the game, go to the Big Three? And if I had some other people, I just should have done that. So I was talking to Andre, my buddy. He says, how come you ain't let nobody know? Because I mentioned this last week. I said, well, if you would have came to my sports show, you would have known that they were coming. He said, touche.
You shut him up, huh?
I said, you would have known. He said, touche. But that's cool, man. I'm just proud of Ice Cube, man.
Yeah.
So they're doing their thing. And I like the way they do it. The whole league travels to place, and they play all those. They get a venue, and they play their games in those venues, and they're selling out, man. They're getting bigger. The league is bigger. It's growing, and so if you really want to see games, I mean, you could. If you want to see them after the fact, you could always go to YouTube, put in Big Three, and they'll give you highlights. And they give you 30-minute highlights. They don't just give you those. They give you like at least 30-minute highlights, 39, 40 minutes. So if you want to see, but they're on CBS, X. You can find them on X, and the Peacock Network.
Okay. Any Big Three any Big Three players you think should be in the NBA now?
Well, typically the Big Three guys are like veterans from the NBA.
Yeah,
they're like guys.
Some of them leave the NBA too early.
Well, listen, man. Every year, man, they eject. How many NBA players leave every year? 120 or something like that.
That many? No way.
And it's only 400 players, like 460, 470 in the league.
So if you think the first two, the NFL draft, right, brings in the first and second round, brings in like 64 players or something like that. Right. So if let's just say 40 players make the team, that's 40 guys out the door.
Yeah, but but even with that though, even those guys that are sort of out the door, they still got opportunity to make a couple of $100,000 a year.
Or they go to Europe, they'll go to the Big Three, they'll play in other leagues. Because some of those guys can still play.
They can play in the G League too, and the G League minimum is over $100,000. So so there's places for these guys to go, but there's always an extraction of dudes, man. If you're a middle player, role player, and you stay in the the NBA for 10 to 12 years, you did well.
Yeah, I think so. 12 years is a long time for an NBA player.
Yeah, and those guys get paid like up to $10 million a year. They might not get the big bucks, but it ain't like you getting a little NFL, drag queen money, So anyway, so here's after the 5th week. Here's the schedule. So the one team is 5-0. 2 teams are 5-0. So I'm gonna try to catch a couple of games. I mean, even if it's on TV, because when they first came out and they had some ESPN used to show some of the games. They had a falling out because I'm thinking the NBA strong arm ESPN not to show their game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Who was one of the NBA standouts on the first place team? Any of them that you recognize? Why
don't we? You know what? Why don't we take a look at it? You want to see the rosters?
It's up to you real fast, but
I don't mind doing that.
I think really, I just want. He got 12.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I had to show.
No. Listen, he got 12 teams. He has 12 teams now, and he sold 2 of them.
Well, yeah. I think I think the way his thing is set up, he owns all the team, but he wants to sell them like franchise.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can see him picking up.
You know what I'm saying?
This can get up to about 30.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this little league can get up to about 30, 40 teams because it's less men, less people on the team.
You're right. You could expand. They're saying that I saw some articles saying that they have a plan, right? So if he gets more investors, right? Say if I got 12 teams, if I actually got 12 investors to buy those teams, but they follow the rules like the NFL has rules, right? The ownership rules. You can start building the green. So it's like he's selling shares, right? He's selling a piece of the league, right?
But here's the only downfall.
What's that?
One, he's Ice Cube, and you spoke about it last year when they was trying to sort of discredit his league, and they was trying to sort of push it. And this is where he is now. He's not really on TV like he was last year because that was the NBA monster pushing him out. So the way he came up with an alternative, which is a good alternative, but you said investors, the white guys don't invest with Ice Cube, and not enough black people are willing to if they have the money, or they just don't have the money. So,
yeah, but the smart thing is that he ain't looking just at black people. You can't build a business if that's the only thing.
He's still not getting those investors as he should. This should be something that could be a big boost. And I was thinking, well, I'm just on subject, but yeah. I mean,
no, go ahead, man. No, you're right, though. I mean, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I just think that the fact that he's still around and it seems to be growing is a good thing. Maybe not fast enough, but he offered Caitlin Clark $5 million.
Yeah,
then I saw another article that he upped it to 10.
That's crazy.
And I think, and the only thing that kept her out is that her endorsements are getting her like $20 to $40 million right now.
Shit.
Yeah, but those endorsers also say you better not take your ass over. You better go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those endorsers kept her in the WNBA. Yeah, no doubt about it. So the big 3 is around the state. Baseball, man. Do you watch baseball? You still watching? You watching games?
Man, did you see the home run derby? Man, they was jacking them home runs.
Man, I can't get into that damn thing. Go give me you lob me a ball and I gotta hit it out. I mean, they lobbed the guy a ball. We're under the fence. They better hit it out. But you know what? There's some excitement to it. But after a couple of years, it's like the slam dunk contest now.
Man. I've never really been into baseball, though.
Listen, you're probably the last black man who likes baseball.
Man,
it's just you.
You crazy. No, man.
You know what?
I was this kid's age when I played too, man. I played catcher and first base, and I could hit a home run, man. And guess what,
What's up?
All the years I played sports, and this was probably the most unique sport I played. Listen, my coach was a woman.
Okay.
And we were first place. We won.
Well, you know what? She could bark orders, man. A woman could tell you what to do. I mean, she wasn't out there playing with you, though.
No, a woman. coaching baseball, hard baseball.
No, I can see that. I can see that. I don't think that's unusual. You know, I mean, listen, I see, but I see.
I've never heard of a woman back in 1977, 70.
Was she all the way woman?
And she was, boy, let me guess. Yes. She was Miss Parker. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, so she liked baseball. Anyway, I don't know if you guys we're coming to the end of the show anyway. This guy Ennis, this was a nondescript fight, but he's a welterweight. And he thinks he's really good, but this went to decision. There's no way he could beat Bud Crawford. No way. Ennis, the brother. He won this fight. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, yeah. So there's no way he could be. So, we don't need to punch that. What's next? Oh, the Olympic team is doing their little scrimmage games. You know, I want to show you guys something real quick. Wait a minute.
Embiid, Nikola Jokic, ready to go, and Team USA will have it first.
Who's that with the ball?
We'll get a man-to-man.
Who's that with the ball?
Your man? Yeah.
There's my man Drew starting. My man, the guy who's not the Hall of Famer, he's starting.
Yeah.
He got the ball. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. This is just a scrimmage. Of course, they beat the hell out of these guys. You know, in Serbia, they beat the hell out of them. I think that. So who might give the Olympic team the best challenge? Who do you think?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I don't really follow the foreign teams too much until the Olympics start.
Me either.
It's just hard to say.
So I think they say France might be good. But they have definitely caught up a little bit. But the real proof is going to be in the pudding if they actually change the All-Star game in the NBA, where it's the American NBA players against the foreign players. I
like to watch that. I like to see that.
I want to see that. I really want to see that.
Based off how they dominated in the Olympics, those guys would have to be at their best. I think you know that American players are far better. It's going to be shown again. So.
Let me tell you, man. Hey, man, take it easy, man. Y'all know you got to cut out.
Man. All right, Charles, brother, man.
All right, take it out, man.
Take it easy, man. I might pop in.
The top two players in the NBA that are not, are not from here, right? Jokic and the other guy, Nick.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Doncic and Jokic. They're probably the top two players now in the NBA.
Listen. Let me tell you.
I mean, shocking to say, but
this draft, this recent draft, I think out of the first round, half of them were foreign players.
What? Dang.
There was a lot, man. I mean, at least 10 of them. Let me put it down. I didn't watch the draft, but it was a lot of them.
It's a turnover. In 10 years, man, you're going to see the NBA is going to look a whole lot different in 10 years.
Well, I think that, they got to be careful with that because they don't want to lose American audiences. But the brothers got to come back with a little finesse. I mean, so a little bit more whatever. Hey, listen, man, Skip Bayless is not fired, but he's leaving FS1. Ever since he lost Shannon Sharp, the ratings are in the toilet. And, listen, man, Skip Bayless is in his 70s.
Yeah, he doesn't look it.
No, he's in good shape. He's in great shape. You got to see him up. He got kind of wrinkly, but he's in great shape.
Yeah, he doesn't look it. The way he argues, he argues like he has.
Well, it's like a puncher who could always punch. So you could argue, he could yell and scream, but I could tell you, man, when you get to that certain age and you put your whole life into something, I don't know why he's hanging on for so much dearly, so dearly, man. Sometimes it's just over.
Let me tell you, man, some folks, man, work is their life. Because, what happens if he retires, he does nothing. Maybe within a couple of years, he drops dead.
No, but it's not that he won't do nothing. That's why I say everybody thinks that if you're not working, you're not going to do anything.
Well,
that's not true.
Most people don't. I mean, I'm saying most people. Most people do not after they retire.
But that's a mistake. I don't know if it's most people, by the way. I know a lot of people do. But I don't know if it's most people.
I would say at least 70%.
No, I disagree with you. You know why?
Why?
Because Social Security and all that's running out of money. People are living longer. So if people are living longer, when they retire, I'm thinking that they're finding other things to do.
Well,
You
I
know,
tell you one
so
thing: if I retire, I'm gonna work. I might as well keep working. That's what I say.
you're gonna do what?
If I retire and I'm gonna keep working, I might as well stay in my job, and stay in the same job. Why retire and then go out there and
Yeah,
do
but why
things
do you
that?
think that the only thing you could do after you retire is work?
Well, I mean, for me, when I retire, my place is to travel. But some people don't have enough money to do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, 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 no,
They
no,
ain't
no.
got the cash.
You don't have to travel anywhere when you retire. I
I'm
mean,
saying
you could
that's what I would
go.
like to do.
Well, I would just if you want to travel when you don't have to spend all your money to travel.
No, that's true.
I mean, you could do both. You could travel if you want to do that. I mean, you're gonna be traveling every week.
No, of course
Oh,
not.
all right then. So you set up. You said, let me get out of town four times a year, or something like that. You set up those things. You just budget for it. Now the point I'm trying to make is, I don't believe in this. No, when you start thinking that if I'm not working for somebody, I'm not doing anything. A person's not doing anything. That's a not. It's not a character issue. It's sad because there's so much. Why would you think about something to do with all that? You get back 50 hours a week. If you don't have anything to fill that time, that means you missed out on life. Listen, if you were retired, Charles, you got like 7 kids
No,
you could
I be
pour into.
traveling all over the
You
city.
got family. You got family, you got things, you got your mom, you got this, you got all, you could travel, now you're free. You'll fill that void with something that keeps you from being idle. Now, me, I should move around a little bit, but I found it, but I didn't start out trying to do YouTube, right? I was just trying to concentrating on, the finances, but that wasn't enough. I built the gym. I need to get into there more,
Okay.
but it's there. I'm fixing up my house. I got, I'm doing YouTube. I'm moving around. I'm going to my doctor on a regular basis now. I got this sports show I'm doing. So all I'm just trying to say is, I think people need to, before you leave a job, you should spend those last 2 years figuring out what you would like to do
Yeah.
and set that up. So when you leave, you have something to do. As soon as I left my family, I built a family tree.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of information. It's like 300
That's
people on
true.
the tree.
Wow, that's a lot. See, the problem is some people retire because they hate their job, and then after they retire, they realize it wasn't that bad, or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. All I'm just trying to say is, just like I'm telling you, when you talk to like a lot of people and they say, well, I don't know what I'm like a Joe Gombos or some other people, like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I retire. I think that's sad. I really do. Anyway, this Stephen A. Smith, man, he's asking for 25 million. His negotiations are stalled. They don't want to give him more than 18 million. And here's this executive. You know how Stephen A. likes to kiss the man's ass? He's always kissing ass, right? So here's one of those executives saying, listen, if Stephen A. walks, we'll just replace him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's far off. If he wants 25, they only offer him 17. I don't see a room there for them to negotiate. Unless he goes down, unless he goes down to 20.
Yeah. So here, listen to what they write up here.
It's been reported that they're only offering about 18. So this ESPN executive, Bert Magnus, I believe his name is, he appeared on the Sports Media Podcast with Richard Deitch. I guess that's how you say his name. I don't want to say it wrong.
Stephen walk like you the man.
He had this to say about Stephen A. Smith. They asked him what would happen if Stephen A. Smith were to leave the program. He said First Take would continue, obviously. We'd figure that out. The great part about the environment that we live in, there's a wealth of talented people out there who, if given the chance, I think could become superstars very easily on our platform. The format of First Take, I think, lends to that. It's already an ensemble situation in so many ways. So I don't worry about that at all. And so he says First Take, which is his primary assignment, is a juggernaut. I think we're going to get 24 straight months of month over month, year over year audience growth. That just doesn't happen in today's world. It happens because he's built this show. I feel as good about our 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. lineup as I've ever felt. And I think the results bear that out. He's a key component to that. So, he said that about Stephen A. Smith, and that made me raise my eyebrow a little bit with the way that he said it. I know Stephen A. Smith always go back to this. He says he wakes up and he thinks about how to make his boss's money and how he gets some of it. He stood on it lately, but in the back of your mind, when you hear them say they could just bring in someone and they could be a superstar on the network, shows that they don't value you as much as you think. And
yeah. So now, do you think Stephen A. is being a little bit greedy?
Well, I think when he asked for 25, I think he's just highballing. I don't think he really expects 25. I think he'll settle for 20, 21, 20. Like, but even 20, I think he'll settle for that.
He just wants to see a 2 in front of him.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he'll settle for 20. But I know, because that's what the game plays, right? If
Yeah.
you want 100, you ask for 120, 125.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
I
ask exactly for 100. You just ask high.
well, he's playing hardball. He's definitely so he's willing. I think he's showing the execs that he's willing to let go of the job.
Okay.
So, I mean, Stephen A. got a bunch of money, right? So he don't have to be desperate for this job.
Well, now the question is, if it is that job, is he gonna somehow set up his own show? Is there a way for him?
Well, he already has it. Well, he has a Stephen A. He has his own show on YouTube.
Oh.
It's almost got 1 million followers. He's got like 800,000 followers.
Yeah, but YouTube and being on TV is not the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
No. Listen, man. YouTube is the new TV, man. What are you talking about?
Okay,
I mean, YouTube is some of YouTube guys get more views than television shows right now.
I know, but I'm saying if you go to a sports bar, for example, you're not gonna watch YouTube TV. You're gonna watch ESPN, all the shit. You know what I mean? Those sports bars.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
I mean, that's not. It depends on what if some of those shows that the people will start to watch it. You're right. I mean, in general, you're correct. But people don't go to the sports bars to see Sports Center. They go to sports bars to see actually an athletic event.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Yeah. So I'm saying that, and most people don't go to sports bars. So just a lot of people like their favorite YouTubers, right? Because you can see their content anytime you want. You can see replays. You can see them live. TV, you gotta schedule. You could use a DVR, of course, but I started DVR in some of the sports shows like First Take and FS1 and some other ones. I noticed that I never watched them. If I didn't catch them when they were live, those things were racking up. I'd have like 20 weeks that I didn't watch it. So I cut those recordings off. Your program recordings, just catch it. So I said, man, you know what? Because I'm not really watching. So after the show is over, the news that they say at that show, if you come back the next day or the day after, it's already old news.
Okay, I got you.
But if Stephen A's podcast, it's something he has a stream of consciousness almost every day.
Yeah. Man, I know sometimes they're so busy, man. I don't know, when did they find time for themselves? I mean, being on shit like 7 days a week, I think, or maybe even 6 days a week.
Well, okay, so he's making content. Sometimes, he of course you got to prepare, but just like if you have a regular 9-to-5 job, yes, you can say the same thing to somebody else. Yeah. His time off is different than yours. Yeah. And he got the money to show for it. So now his channel certainly doesn't make him the same kind of money ESPN is making him, not yet. Of course not. But but I'm sure he has more than one stream of income.
Like I said, he works like 6-7 days a week.
Yeah, but right now he's still working for ESPN, so that's the big part of his money. So he's got his own podcast, and he's working for ESPN. So he's, that's at least two income.
Is that guy still working the same job, or Steve Harvey?
Oh, Steve Harvey still. Yeah, Steve Harvey.
Is he still doing like 4 jobs a day?
Yeah, I know his show has been canceled, but I think he still does the game show, which I don't watch live. So he does the game show. I think he has. I don't know if the Steve Harvey show is still going. I mean, he's got a lot of shit. These guys got.
Man, he was like one time, like in the morning at 7 o'clock, right? Was his show, and then after that, I think he had another show, Family Feud, during the day or something. I'm like, dang, why does this guy have time to go home?
Well, this show is his home, man. But I'm not a big.
And there was some go around saying that his wife was cheating.
Yeah, but his listen, man. His wife has a questionable background, and her questionable background lends to that kind of shit, man.
Yeah.
Both of her husbands were big time drug dealers. So, and then Steve Harvey, was, he had this stupid crush on her, and he married her right off the heels of those guys, adopted her children, and gave them his last name because she told him to. And he's just the biggest simp in the whole world, man.
I wouldn't do that, but he's a big man. He's big on that. I wouldn't do it.
He's the biggest simp. And so, he's telling men don't get prenuptial agreements. His relationship advice is absolute bullshit and trash. So we don't have to go down there. If any man who listens to that asshole about relationship advice, here's what he gets.
But he had a book out too, right? Didn't he have a book?
Yeah, he told women to have a 90-day rule. Think like a man, but act like a woman.
Ah, bullshit.
So his thing was pandering to women. So he made money off of telling women what they want to hear.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Almost everybody makes money off telling women what they want to hear.
Exactly.
Right? Because you can't criticize them. So they just tell them something. You're fat because, you can't process, sugar like everybody else. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
And the new fat is beautiful, right? So they'll have, shows where they'll have, so they got, so anyway, man, when I got fat, people were unmerciful. They didn't say no, oh man, you still look handsome.
You're a guy, man. It's different.
So listen, man. So I got to keep losing weight. Anyway, man. So so boxing is the last on this thing. So we got some boxing coming up. And Clarissa Shields is next before the end of this month. So this is the female Olympian. She won gold. So I might watch that fight. I'm sure it's going to be free.
Okay.
And that's it, man. It's disclaimer. I usually put the links to all those videos in my description when I go live afterwards. And we come to the end of the show, man.
All right, man.
So hey, man. So what you got planned for the rest of the night? Me end the show. And what you got planned for? Just chilling out?
Yeah, just chilling out with the boys, man. Probably gonna go in the living room, watch a movie with them, just like chill out. And the rest of the week I'm working from home.